Hey, welcome to another great episode of the Real Deal Podcast. Happy Friday. Oh my goodness, glad it's Friday. Long week and everything. So glad the weekend is here. So hope everyone was able to, get through the week and have some good plans for the weekend. But we got another great guest, podcast family back on the show for I've lost count so many times, but she is podcast family. Always invited, always the doors open for her, a good, great friend. But before I bring her on, let's get it. All right. Once again, welcome to another great episode of the Real Deal Podcast. I'm your host, as always, Courtney Harden. Glad to be back with another great episode, Women in Football series, and Women in Football and Fantasy Football series. And I have a really good, really great friend of the show, multiple times on. I've been on her show and everything. But before I bring her in, you can follow the show on all the podcast platforms, whether it's Spotify, Apple, YouTube's, we're on Spreaker, BS3 Network, BS3TVLive.com, Roku channel, wherever you consume podcasts, you can get it there. The Real Deal with Courtney Hart. You can follow me on all the social media podcasts. That's Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and Blue Sky, which I rarely use, but you can see me there. The Real Deal with Courtney Hart. You can follow all the content on all those platforms. Well, let me bring in my guest here, good friend, two-time Emmy winning TV producer, sports reporter, content reporter for SI.com, High School on SI, the Blonde Blitz podcast, host of that. She's doing red carpets. She's, most importantly, Philadelphia Eagles fan, just like myself. So let me bring her in, Miss Deb Whitcas.
Happy Friday.
Yeah, happy Friday. And the Eagles got a good win yesterday, even though it's preseason last night.
Yep.
But
gotta love me some Tanner McKee.
Yes, led by Tanner McKee for sure. But how are you doing, Deb? Thank you for coming on. As always,
for having me. It's always a pleasure to be here. We always have such a good time talking our birds and other teams as well, because we're both well-rounded.
Yeah, we're very well-rounded, and you cover a lot of teams. I mean, just the league in general, and always has the pulse of the league, and you like I said, you report on everything too. So it's always good to catch up with you. And we had to do something, a preview type of show before the season started, which is getting ready. And as I said,
year, man.
I feel
like the season's already started. To be honest, I've been nonstop. I work day and night, weekends, training camps. Like it literally feels like this is like the first game already started. To be honest. The guys are ready. Like they are ready on that field.
Yes, they're ready. They are ready. We're ready. I was just talking to someone just recently this week, and we were talking like, oh my goodness, I can't believe preseason is here. It's almost like the Eagles just won the Super Bowl, and now we're talking about the upcoming 2025 season. So, and then I started my Women in Football fantasy football series, and you were already on the schedule. So I just had to, for sure.
Yes, I love this. You better invite me.
Yes, always. Yes. I mean, you were one of the first ones. We just had to find the time, and this was a perfect time. So you were definitely on the invite list for sure, which I try to do every year in the month of August. Just highlighting and the things you're doing and what you got upcoming. So you were totally on the list of an invite. So, but like I said, you've been busy, very busy. I've seen the content, seeing the videos and things like that. So, but how are you doing getting ready for this season, as you said, staying busy.
Yeah, I mean, we're still working in unscripted TV as well.
Yes,
so we had that job, and then obviously doing sports, and been at all of the handful of training camps.
Yeah,
was at the Eagles, was covering the Rams almost daily,
right.
Which is great. We just had, and then obviously the Dallas is in LA. I mean, they're in Oxnard, which is 2-3 hours away from LA. Everyone made that trek up and back. The Dallas training camp was definitely an experience, and then also stopped by the Chargers training camp as well. So kind of have been covering the training camps on both coasts.
Yeah,
that's been fun. Also doing a lot with SI.com, as you mentioned, high school on SI. Just did actually highlighted two of the community programs that the Rams are doing. And one was called Rise with the Rams. And it basically, helped spotlighted high school athletes and kind of giving them, talking about football and also community. And then dealing with less privileged athletes and kind of putting them together and to build friendships and doing that through football. And then as well, there was actually a coach scouting. I'm sorry, a coach shadow program that the Rams also, which I will be releasing that on my IG shortly, as well as SI.com. It's a great program. There was throughout training camp, 5 of local high school coaches came to shadow the Rams coaches. So they were actually out there on the field with them, on the sidelines, and just kind of taking in what the pros do, so they can in turn go back and work with their athletes on some of the same, drills and game techniques. So it's really cool to be there and to be able to cover the Rams training camp and to be able to talk to the high school coaches and also talk to the high school athletes, who were just in awe that they were standing there on the field with the pros, so that was super cool.
Yeah, I bet you that was a very cool experience to cover something like that. And you're going through camp to camp, from the West Coast to the East Coast, back to the West Coast. You're getting almost like Kay Adams in a way.
I love Kay. I want to be her.
Yes, she going from camp to camp. I think she covers every camp throughout throughout the preseason and training camps. And then when I saw you say, okay, Rams, Chargers, and also the Eagles, I'm like, okay, Deb's turn. Okay, what's next? Where are you going next? Are you going to Jersey? Are you going to the New York Giants? Are you going to,
I would have, if I would have had the time. I was only, unfortunately, on the East Coast for 3 days, and I had to hit Boston too, but not for football, just for a family thing. But you got to take a little bit of time before football starts.
For sure.
Get some family stuff in there as well, but. But yeah, no, Eagles training camp was amazing. The Eagles look great. To be honest, there was so much going on. And they only allow media to tape for the first 10 15 minutes, which I didn't necessarily know until someone came up to me and was like, hey, you can't video anymore. And I was like, oh, okay, that's fine.
Okay.
They don't want routes. They don't want, they've said they just don't want people stealing stuff, other teams watching content and knowing their routes or whatever. But no, I mean, Eagles look good. And I'm actually doing a story for SI.com about Laken Vakalahi. I always mess up his name. He's our new, he's also a Super Bowl champ. He came onto the team last year, but he's originally from Australia. And he's, backup left tackle behind Jordan Mailata. Obviously, Jordan's from Australia, Laken's from Australia, and they both come from rugby. So that's actually the story that I'm covering for SI.com, kind of their road from rugby to the NFL, as well as Laken's younger brother, Rigdon, Rigdon and Reed. So Rigdon was actually just named to the All-American Bowl. The All-American Army Bowl that's taking place in December. So he was just named the first Australian All-American for that. And then the other brother, Reed, was just named to the just invited to the National Combine for the All-American Bowl. So just that they're a football family, and I'm kind of planning their journey. So that's why I was at Eagles training camp. So I was basically just doing a lot of video of Jordan Mailata and Lakin, practicing and on the field. So I didn't get as much as I wanted, with the wide receivers. I went to Jalen Hurts and showing him throwing and Tanner throwing and, everybody. But, and then obviously during the 11-on-11s, you can't film at all.
Right.
So, but they looked good. And when I talked to Jordan later, after practice, I interviewed both of them. He was tired. I have to say, I actually felt bad for him. So I tried to keep my interview brief.
Yeah.
He was like pounding the energy drinks, and it was hot that day.
Yeah.
Like it was super, super hot. And, and I know you and I have had this conversation before about the Eagles defense, and, I'm a huge Vic Fangio fan.
Yes.
And, I just had some concerns about, key players of the defense leaving. That's always been, just scared. I do think they made some amazing draft picks and changes in the offseason. And just from what Jordan said, he was like, the defense is legit. That's not a direct quote, but he was like, the defense is like making it hard. He's like, I'm tired. So now I'm not so worried because I could do a lot of myself. So.
Right. And that's the thing. Like I knew, like I said, I knew you were here. We were talking. I was like, oh man, that was in Philly, but like you said, you were working. You was like a minute, like you was there for a hot minute. Right. So, but and I said, okay, you had covered the training camp, and I said I was going to have you on and kind of discuss what you could. And you're right. And even watching the preseason game from yesterday on the defense, the only concern I have, and it was a concern even before, is the cornerback position.
And I think that's always something with the Eagles. Like we always have a cornerback issue. Like that's always where, if there is an issue, that's where it is. I think that's just yearly what everybody says.
Yeah, right. We got the one side. Quinyon Mitchell is legit, and Cooper DeJean is legit, and they're gonna use Cooper as like a Swiss Army knife again. He's playing safety, he's playing the slot, corner, nickel corner. And Vic Fangio did say that he's gonna use Cooper DeJean as much as possible everywhere as well. So he might have to play the other side of the corner because Keely Ringo and Adoree Jackson, there was one game, but they were getting torched by the Cincinnati Bengals first team offense. So that other side is a question mark, but that we kind of knew that heading into this season, that who's going to get that last position. It might be Cooper on that side, but then that takes away from Cooper DeJean being able to move around, where I think he will be better at anyway. But and we'll see what happens during, with practice and more training. Like I said, it was one game, but that's that part of the secondary is a little concerning.
Yeah. Well, and also too, they have a little bit of time.
It's
still preseason. It took them a little bit of time last season to figure stuff out.
Yes, it did.
We won the Super Bowl, so
we can't complain too much. I know Eagle fans. We get a little when I said, okay, let's pump the brakes. I know there's been a lot of chatter today about this secondary. It's like it was one game, and they'll figure it out, because even like I said last season, it took them after the bye to go on that roll, and they did. They figured it out. This year they have
to figure it out before the bye.
Yes.
The bye comes in the middle of the season.
Yes, it is. But they the schedule is very brutal in the beginning of the season, and but I'm not worried about the offense because we brought everybody back. They just lost one starter, Mekhi Becton, but they're bringing 10 of the 11 starters back, and it looks like they're ready to roll. Jalen seems locked in again. And speaking of that, I know we talk about Jalen Hurts a lot, but I want to ask you about, like, he's still getting flack and opinions about is he a top 10 quarterback? I'm like, he's a winner. He's a Super Bowl winner. He's a leader. He's on that.
Why is everybody against this guy?
I don't get it.
Obviously an amazing athlete. He's a great quarterback. Just won a Super Bowl. He's going to hear this his entire career, and he's just going to get used to it. And he's just going to, hopefully it just makes him stronger and makes sayers, just prove him wrong.
Yeah, just prove him wrong. Yeah, exactly. That's all you can say. It's like, and like I said, he's a Super Bowl MVP, and because they're saying, well, with the team, they had without offense, he doesn't do much, and I say he still got to play. He still got to make he plays his best in the biggest games. He's beating all these quarterbacks that they said are ranked higher than him. He's beat them all. Lamar, Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow, Josh Allen. He's beat
Mahomes.
yeah, right. So on the other side, he plays the biggest in the biggest games, and I feel like there should be no more criticism. And watch, he's gonna end up coming back, and they're gonna end up throwing the football more, and he's gonna just prove him like, hey, I win at any means necessary. He wins at any means necessary. If it's running the football 35 times, that's what it is. If it's got to pass 30 times, he can do that too. So I'm with it.
And you never quite know what he's gonna do either. That's what's good. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
He can do it all, and
yeah, exactly.
And I wasn't like a big believer in him, years ago.
I remember. Yeah, we talked about that. Yeah,
wasn't. And he had to prove to me. And like I said, I always talk about that night game. It was like a Sunday night. I don't remember, Monday night maybe. And it was against the Vikings at the Link, and he showed up and showed out. And I was like, that's our franchise quarterback. And that's that night. Ever since then, I've been done deal.
Yeah, and it's our QB1, and I've always been a fan of Jalen, and now it's just like I said, all the criticism. He just goes about his business. He's a man. He just stands on business and he gets the job done. So he's a Super Bowl champion. So I have nothing else to just continue to keep improving and doing this thing. And he just wants to win, and that's what it's about. So, but we'll see how that goes. We're excited about this upcoming season. Talk a little about the Rams. Anything with the Rams that you're looking forward to? They look like they're the legit team.
They look so good. Yeah. I'm a little scared, to be honest. I've been there, like I said, almost daily at practices. Hopefully we'll continue throughout the season to continue covering Rams practices. It's such a great experience. Everyone is so nice. It's like a family already. Even everybody in the media, we're friends with everybody, and the players are just amazing. McVay, great coach, great speaker, nicest man ever. I had such a great time. Like I said, I'll probably cry if I don't continue, but fingers crossed. But the Rams look. Devontae Adams is just almost not human. Yeah. I mean, that man. I mean, the connection he has with Jimmy Garoppolo. First of all, obviously they've played together on the Raiders. They look fire together. Obviously Matthew Stafford out for a couple of weeks, so haven't seen him since OTAs, I believe. But during OTAs, I mean, he was locked in. Throws. I think that they went through an entire drill, and I think they almost went through almost an entire 11, and the ball didn't drop once. I don't remember exactly what they were doing, but it was insane to watch. Like, the ball did not touch the ground. Jordan Whittington, another wide receiver who looks great. Terrence Ferguson, their draft pick, looks great. I believe he's still hurt. Right. He got a little hurt, but they're expecting him back.
Right.
But I mean, and, obviously some concerns with Matthew Stafford's back. He just had some flare-ups, but he's working with trainers. He was at the Dallas training camp. I saw him personally. He's working with trainers on the sidelines. So he's putting in the work to get back. But Jimmy Garoppolo looks fire too. And Stetson Bennett, I'm really impressed with him. 2 years ago, he took that leave of absence. He's back. He's on the field. He's got great command of the huddle. McVay has said it several times in the pressers. And they work so great as a team.
Right.
Like, I can't explain it's like a family. It's really special the way that they work.
Okay, yeah, and then just this from last season too. The Rams, they gave the Eagles all they could. If it didn't
snow, it might have been a different game.
Right. And then Jalen Carter
last hit.
Yeah, say Jalen Carter, those last two plays. I mean, that was huge. And that's
right in front of me too.
Yeah, that saved the Eagles season and heading into the NFC Championship, beating the Commanders, and then winning Super Bowl, dominating the Chiefs too. But Jalen Carter said, and it's Stafford that's the concern, his health, and I know he's
honestly, I mean, it definitely is the concern. But Jimmy Garoppolo is a QB1.
Okay,
he really is.
Yeah. Believe in Jimmy. Okay, Jimmy G.
I mean, I always have, but
right.
I now that I'm seeing him daily in the workouts, I think I believe it even more.
Yeah, and he's an experienced quarterback. Been to a Super Bowl. Probably should have won. When they lost to the Chiefs, and he just didn't make enough plays on the end. I remember that. And but yeah, you trade Cooper. I mean, they got rid of Cooper Kupp basically for Devontae Adams.
Right.
And so Puka Nacua
looks great too. And so does Tua Atwell looks great. Yeah, he is so fast. Like I'm a huge fan of Tutu.
Yeah, they have the weapons.
I love him for when he gets the ball and just runs, and it's like a flash. Like it was that I was like, oh, it's Tutu, because I can't see who it is.
Yeah, just flying by, just flying by. So yeah, they just have to. I think they just defensively. I think that's where they're concerned. But they have addressed some of their positions defensively.
They added Puna Ford. He's doing great.
Right.
I know they added some other key players as well to
help their run defense, which was pretty bad very shaky last season. But they've addressed, and like I said, they definitely need a healthy Stafford to make noise. But they're to me. Might be the scariest team. We talk about all the teams.
I agree with you.
In the NFC that can contend with the Eagles. They might be the scariest because Detroit's had changes on, from their coordinators. We'll see what Washington. I mean, they got to sign Scary Terry. They got to sign Terry McLaurin. Yeah.
Wild.
Right. So, and then you got Detroit, Minnesota with a young quarterback, J.J. McCarthy. So there's question marks there. How good can Green Bay be with Jordan Love? There's a
I wouldn't write off San Fran either.
I wouldn't either. They had one of those
seasons. They have an easy schedule, and they just they weren't healthy last year.
Right, a lot of injuries. Yeah, you're right. Yep.
So
yeah, a lot of teams.
I think it's going to come down to the Rams and the Eagles again.
Yeah, I agree too. I think I'm leaning towards that too. Besides, like you said, we'll see with Detroit if they can still. But losing Ben Johnson, that's a huge going to be a huge hole to fill, offensive coordinator. So we'll see what happens with Detroit as well. But you also the Chargers as well. You were at their camp.
I was at the Chargers for one day.
Yeah.
I wish I was able to cover more. It didn't happen, unfortunately. Yeah. I think I'm going to be at the Rams Chargers practice. They have a joint practice on the 13th. Okay. So I'm hoping hoping to get that phone call shortly, actually.
Right. Yeah.
Chargers look good too. I like Trey Lance. We'll see what happens for the battle for QB2 behind Justin Herbert. We've got Taylor Heineke and Trey Lance. I thought Trey looked amazing in that first preseason
Hall of Fame game. Yeah.
He needed to play it up big, and he did.
Yep.
They might. I don't know. The rumors are kind of circulating that Heineke might get traded. Because they might go with Lance on QB2 because I think he can do it. I mean, obviously Heineke is the journeyman. He's a veteran backup, one of the best backups in the league. So I don't know if they want to take that chance, but there's going to be some other teams that need a good backup quarterback too.
Right. And Jim Harbaugh. yeah. And Jim Harbaugh, they had a good season, real good season last season.
They did, and they did much better than people thought they were going to do. But I mean, Harbaugh at the helm, it didn't shock me, but
right.
Poo-pooed in the postseason, but
and I think they're gonna.
I feel like Justin Herbert just kind of hiccuped.
Yes, in the playoffs. Yes.
In the playoffs, yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, okay, Justin Herbert now is top quarterback, one of the top 6-7 quarterbacks, and it's now like, okay, when is to take that next step? And I think now playing with Harbaugh for one season so far, they're probably gonna have to open it up even more. But they
Len
got
McConkey's, I think, in for a really great season.
Yep.
They just got Keenan Allen back.
That was one of that was Herbert's favorite target. Yes.
Yep. And so he'll be more comfortable. Johnston. Johnston's looking good too.
Yeah. Yep.
He was a favorite of mine when they drafted him. Actually, was it 2 or 3 years ago? And I always was like, oh, Johnston. Like, I expected more from him, and now I actually, when I was at the one day I was at training camp, I really liked his performance a lot. Like he took a lot of caught a lot from I think it was Herbert. So those two connections were pretty powerful.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're gonna run that football because what Harbaugh, he loves to run.
He loves his run game,
and they got powerful runners now. The Amari Hampton and Najee Harris. So just they're bigger and they're just gonna punish. So they're gonna go to old school football, and that's Harbaugh's thing. And you have a really good quarterback back there. So
Najee didn't do as well as I thought he was gonna do with the Steelers, but I think under Harbaugh he could probably blossom a little bit more than he did with under Tomlin. But and didn't he had like
that accident
injury or something?
Yeah, they're not really saying too much about that. They didn't say too much about it. They kept that under wraps. Yeah.
Who needs to see when you play football? I mean,
just run straight. That's all you have to do. Get the ball and run, and just go. So you feel contact, then that's about it for sure. But yes, I'm loving the coverage you're doing on the training camps, and like I said, you're going around. You're going to be doing the 32-team training camp soon.
I wish someday. That's my goal in life, to be honest.
To be traveling, doing all those things. That's
traveling all around.
Yeah, traveling all around. So, all right, let's get into a couple more before I let you go. NFC East, as we talked about our Eagles, but Dallas. What's going on with the Cowboys? And I was just on a show yesterday, and we were talking about this Micah Parsons.
Yeah.
Micah
was at practice.
Okay.
I don't want to say I didn't see him on the field because I was more so watching.
Okay.
Yeah, like I was watching more so the offense of the Rams. But I saw him talking with Andrew Whitworth enough. He was suited up though. So he was there, at least he was present. He was in his jersey. But I personally didn't see him on the field, but I mean, he was on the field. I didn't see him playing
on the field. Right.
But I definitely saw him, talking with Micah, with Andrew Whitworth, but yeah. So, I mean, I think they would be stupid not to extend him and not to give him what he wants. Because really who else do they have? I mean, you lose Micah Parsons, you lose your team. I mean,
yes, for sure. Defensively, for sure. But he's their best player. He's their best player.
Right. By far. He's better than him.
Yes. And I think any Cowboys fan would say he's our best player. He's the difference maker. He's the best player. And it's a weird dynamic with him and Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones saying a lot but that's what Jerry Jones does. But this to me feels a little different. It feels personal. I don't know why, but it feels different than the Dak Prescott one. It feels different than CeeDee Lamb. He got those guys paid, and now Micah has never said anything bad about Cowboys. Yeah, right.
And that was kind of the rumors. And, I was talking a little bit to some of the Dallas Cowboys press, and like that was the consensus is Micah Parsons is hurt. Like he wants to stay. He doesn't want to get traded. Yeah.
Right.
But he's butthurt.
Yeah, he's had enough. He's had enough. Like, and you're right. He's never talked bad about it. He's always said, I want to be a Cowboy for, I want to be a Cowboy for life. And he's always talked about that and meant it. But now I think he's had enough. He's hurt. And now he's just, he demands a trade. I think said some people might think it's a, leverage thing. It could be. They could be doing this media. Yeah. And now and he hasn't. He's not sitting out. He's there. So he's not holding out. It's just he just wants to get paid. So you paid Dak all that money. You paid CeeDee Lamb. You have to pay your best player in Michael Parsons for sure. I agree.
Can I talk about the actual training camp though? Like
yes,
the actual Dallas training camp.
Yes.
So I've obviously been to several. And this one, Dallas does it big. That's all I have to say. I walked in and I was a little overwhelmed at first. There was like 5,000 people there, fans and people, 2 fields. You walk in, like, Rams has this like little tiny hut of like merchandise, and Dallas had like 6 tents.
Wow.
Like it was like a mile of jerseys and like all the merchandise. And then it was just like all the banners and the stars, and it was like a Hollywood production, to be honest. So Dallas goes big, and I that was my first time ever dealing with Dallas, to be honest.
Right.
So first time seeing it, it was a little overwhelming, I have to be honest. Jeez. Even one of my fellow reporters walked up to me. He's like, "So this is a lot." And I was like, and he was like, "It's a little overwhelming." And I went, "Oh, at least I'm not the only one thinking that."
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, Dallas does do it big, and their fans travel. Just like Eagles fans, but and it's interesting. They're called America's team, and we don't really feel like they are anymore. But it's still Dallas. It's still the Cowboys, and they got the star in the helmet. And
Jerry Jones loves
the attention. And
he loves the attention. I actually almost ran into him literally. Like I stepped this way, and there he was, and I like had to like move my entire body not to run right into him. I was like, oh my God, I almost took down Jerry Jones.
The 81-year-old Jerry Jones almost took him out. I almost took him down. That's funny. Yeah, he loves it. He just any attention. He's like, we love this, and he does it. He has done that now. Some of his decision making and the things he says is different now, but some Dallas fans don't like him as much anymore. But hey, he brings the attention to Dallas, and they're still a team that gets the ratings and the viewership no matter what. This Eagles Cowboys game. Yeah.
In a Super Bowl in how many years now?
Yeah, the 30 years they haven't been to an NFC championship. Over now going on 30 years, but this Eagles Cowboys game home opener is going to be ridiculous. Oh my goodness, it's going to be ridiculous. I was looking at ticket price. I'm like, okay, I'm going to stay home. I'm going to be home.
First 3 games, obviously Dallas, KC, and then the Rams.
Yes,
it's gonna set the tone for the entire season.
It is, for sure, definitely, for sure. All right, just got 2 more, and I wanted to ask you about another team in the NFC East, the Washington Commanders.
Yes. Terry McLaurin, you cannot leave.
No, they got to pay him too. Another guy that he's their best weapon. Yeah. And
one of my favorite wide receivers in them.
Right. I mean, he gets open. He's just one of those guys that they need him. I know they got Deebo Samuel now, but they need Terry McLaurin on that other side, and that opens up everything else with Zach Ertz and the running game. And and then they said Jaden Daniels coming, for a second season, the tremendous rookie year he had, and now if he loses his main target for anything, I think this is definitely leverage. I believe Washington will sign
too. Yeah. I'm hoping because I'm an Eagles fan, I hope he leaves.
Yes.
But I want to see him with the Commanders. As Commanders are my number 2, which is slowly turning to the Rams, to be honest. But you just cannot have the Commanders without Terry McLaurin. Like that's just it. That's a sin. I feel like they have to pay that man, and they're making a huge mistake if they let him walk. Yes. And I think he wants to be there.
Yeah, too. I think so. He definitely does.
Like he's been there for years.
Yep.
He's seen through an insane, carousel of quarterbacks.
Yep.
Different head coaches, Ron Rivera. He's just been there for a really long time and has gotten through a lot and still plays at an insane level.
Yep.
And that connection with him and Jaden Daniels was just so spectacular. I want to see it again. Yeah. I don't want it to go away.
Yep.
So, and they're interesting. Going to the Patriots is where he might. Everyone's saying he might go, but I just don't see it happening.
Yeah, I don't see them getting rid of. I think they're going to sign him. And it's just the how many years. I know he's 30 years old, 31, 30. And they feel like, okay, how much do you want how long-term deal do you want? Say, hey, give him a 3-year deal for whatever money he's asking for, and see from there. Because you said you're right. Washington's been through so much, and now they got new ownership now, and they finally got something good. New stadium coming. They finally got something going well. And they were a laughing stock.
Guy.
They were a laughing stock for years too. With the bad ownership, and you say quarterbacks and coaches, and it was just a lot of different things were going on. And toxic workplace and all these things, and now they finally got a franchise quarterback, and now you might let Terry McLaurin go. It's like you gotta.
Makes no sense.
Yeah, it makes no sense. It makes no sense at all. I agree, 100%. Man, I mean, we went around the league, so I got to ask you about red carpet experience at the SP's after party. Like, yes, congratulations on that. But talk about that experience. Yeah,
it was so fun. So I was there as media, and walked in and checked in, and they were like, oh, and like, well, we want you to walk the red carpet. Like, there is the line to walk the red carpet, and I was like, ooh, really?
Like, me? Yes, okay.
Like, because normally I'm just on the interview.
You do the interviews usually.
Interviewing, and they were like, no, like, we want you to walk it, and I was like, oh, okay. So that was a very nice moment.
Yeah, I bet you that caught you off guard, I'm sure.
It did.
Yeah. You're like, oh,
being on the other side of it, being the reporter.
But I saw a natural walking that red carpet. I saw that turnaround and and everything. You're
I've been practicing.
Yeah. You're like, okay, let me turn around, pose. I was like, okay, Deb, do your thing on the red carpet for sure. And,
I forgot I had my back, like the back was open. I was like, oh, I should do a back one, I saw, because all the photographers were like taking my picture, and then like each one, and it was a lot of flashes. And then I was like, oh wait, my back. And then I turned, and like all the flashes started again. And I was like, whoa.
Yeah, the back turn and the head spin back. I love it. The back turn and the head spin, the head nod. Oh yeah, I love that. Yeah. So funny. But congrats. But yeah, you said you got to cover that. The SPs, that's huge and everything too. So that was big. I was like, okay, I said, I know her. I was like, I know her. Good friend. I know her. But that was really
for a lot, Courtney.
Yeah. Yes, for sure. Well, Deb, it is always good to catch up with you, and I like we always can talk for hours. I say it all the time, but we definitely can. So for sure,
birds all day long.
Go birds, all that birds, and at least around the league, and just a lot of different things going on. But let everyone know what you got coming up. Sure. And where they can find you on social media as well, and follow you also.
Sure. Of course, yeah. You can always follow me on @SportReportDeb on IG and Twitter. Also at the Blonde Blitz. Also check out, just type in Google high school on SI, Deb Whitcas, and all my articles will pop up. We got videos and articles. Got some stuff coming out, like I said, with the Rams. Would love for you guys to check out. Yes. And the Blonde Blitz is coming back. We're doing season 3. I'm just starting to produce and gonna have some great guests and some great, weekly segments. So it's, a blitz of NFL coming at you. So we're looking forward to another great season of interviews and, design. Got a little bit more design. Shay's coming back, obviously. Has some contributors who do some fashion. We also have someone who is a chef I wanted to bring in some more like tailgating foods and stuff like that. So of course, comedy, of course, sports betting, fantasy, and game picks. So, and obviously headlines and all that good stuff. So we've got some, it's going to be a great season.
Yeah, the NFL is never a league that has they got the drama, they got the headlines, and you cover it all. So you said tailgating and food and fashion and everything around the league that you definitely do cover. So follow, subscribe, share, like, all those things. All Deb Whitcas's content and videos and articles. So definitely follow Deb Whitcas to get all your get all the NFL and just in general content as well. So Deb, thank you again. I always appreciate you.
Me.
Yeah, for sure. Like I said, I can't do a women in football without you. So you were definitely for sure. And not even just that, just more, just in general, just having you on is always a pleasure. So I really appreciate you. Fun. Yeah, so thank you again. Thank you everyone that tuned in. Like I said, like, subscribe, and share, and all those things. And until next time, everyone be safe and God bless.
Go Birds.
Go Birds.